Wow, there's a lot of things I can say about this next guy, Corey Lopez. If you saw the Surf Expo magazine, there's a little profile in there on each of the guys done by Andrew Lewis. And the first quote in Corey's profile is, growing up on the Gulf of Mexico. Who would have thought, right? Who would have thought? Who would have thought? And him and his brother, he gets to join his brother Shay up here tonight. So Corey Lopez, like all these guys, started surfing in the ESA, but he quickly got on the ASB World Tour in 1997 and got himself up near the top in a hurry. Actually, he got all the way, at one point he was leading the rankings and finished the year number 3. I think a lot of people forgot that. And then he was constantly in the top 10 in the ASB World Tour days when there was some pretty serious competition. But I think, for me personally, I was the publisher of Surfing Magazine in the beginning of the 2000s, and they had a contest at Chopu, and Corey won it. And if you remember the photo, I remember when those photos came into the magazines on the Flames light table, and he called us in to look at them, and we went, "You kidding? You're absolutely kidding." And we made that one photo of that hellacious drop that he paddled into and pulled into the barrel. And I think it was really the first Chopu photo that everyone went, wow, wow. And it still stands the test of time. We're talking quite some time ago. And that's the one thing that will always be in my mind, the day that Flame called me into his office and said, "Look at this photo. What are we going to do with it?" And I think Corey has been one of, without question, the East Coast's biggest surf stars. And he continues as a brand ambassador, going around the world, finding waves like that sick left to Africa. Well, how good's that place, right? I mean, we all want his job now, right? He's a brand ambassador for O'Neill, and he's still doing it. It's my great pleasure to bring up Corey Lopez.
Right on. What an honor, and to hear PT say all these things about me is kind of a trip, because when you get caught in that whirlwind of competing and just surfing, all you want to do is surf. And you start this from a little kid, and you just start surfing, and because you love surfing, you paddle out. You know, your dad teaches you, takes you to the beach, and all of a sudden it turns into this whole thing: competing, surfing, getting paid to go around the world, and it's just a whirlwind. It just turns into this whole monster of just like travel, surf, compete, have fun, party. Like, it's just a great life, and I'm so blessed. It's a whirlwind looking back at how fast it's gone by now, you know, and to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, I'm just truly honored. I want to thank everyone that put this induction together tonight. Thank you so much, and to everyone else, congratulations. You know, I want to thank for sure my mom and dad, who I couldn't have done any of this without. I grew up on the Gulf Coast, and we don't really have surf. And the hours that they put on the road to drive me over to Sebastian Inlet, to Cocoa Beach, Melbourne, to surf, it was just a lot of time. And I know my dad loved to surf, but my mom did it just because she wanted me to have fun. And, you know, so thank you guys, love you. My wife, my beautiful wife, who I met when I was 20 years old. You know, you're amazing. Thank you for putting up with all my traveling. I'm still traveling. And my children, Layla. Hi, Layla. Luke, Alana, I love you guys. You know, I want to thank all the people that helped me get started. You know, my first surfboard, my first real board my dad bought me was a Salty Dog. Real old. It was beat up when I got it. I rode it for a while. Shortly after that, I started riding for Spectrum surfboards. Guys like Craig Bobbitt supported me. It was huge to be on a Spectrum surf team back then for me. It was an honor. Guys like Trip Freeman, Barry Wazonsky, like showed me the ropes around the world. I remember Trip Freeman when I was 13 took me out at YMAF for the first time, and he lent me his 8.6. And I believe that was the day he got that famous photo of himself on his like 9.6, that purple board where he's in the air flying. Some people might remember it. I do. You know, and after that, you know, I went and started riding AJ Finance surfboards. AJ, I don't know if you're here or not, but thank you. I slept on your couch for probably 2 years. Went to high school in Melbourne for a little while. That was great. And then, of course, Matt Biolis, who's been my shaper for the last 20 years. Matt, I don't know if you're here or not either, but thank you for all the boards. Still give me the boards, and now my children are riding your boards. It's just truly an honor to ride some of the best surfboards in the world from you. Thank you. I want to thank all my people, all my friends that pushed me, guys like Andy Irons, Bruce Irons, Manoj Olay, all the guys when we're surfing Tahiti on days like this, we're pushing the limits. To me, that's a big reason probably I'm here for just riding those waves, I guess. And those guys pushed me because we were, you know, you get out in there and there's like this is testosterone because you got to get the biggest wave and you got to beat your buddy and you know it's on, it's a you know whatever, it's fun. I got to thank O'Neill, of course. This is my 21st year with him. You know, I remember when I signed with him, I was like, who am I going to ride for? I had a couple options, and I'm just so thankful I chose O'Neill. Thank you, guys. And of course, everyone on the Gulf Coast, all my people on the Gulf, that's home. It'll always be home. The Gulf is a great place. I don't live there now, but it's still home. The Gulf Coast is everyone over there, just thanks for everything. And I don't know, everyone, thanks for coming out. It was great and cool. I don't know.